Are we live? Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Little Stevie Wonder for your Thursday. Isn't she lovely?
I am.
That's right, you are. Good morning. Good afternoon, may I say. Welcome to 202.9. It's Juicy Jess.
And DJ Nish.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day to all you lovers out there.
February 14th.
Let us know what you guys are doing. We want to know you guys going out, staying in, avoiding those crowds on these days.
Yeah, he's going to be definitely busy on the roads tonight.
Yes.
What are you doing for Valentine's Day today?
Valentine's Day, I just like to chill. I feel like I've done the whole hype thing of doing Valentine's Day and going out and then like going to a restaurant, having to wait 2 hours just to get seated.
Yeah,
it's definitely my holiday. I love it, but I like to chill on these days.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like a sucker for Valentine's Day, but sometimes you just want to like relax and spend it with the people that matter the most.
Yeah, and honestly, ladies, don't feel pressured to have a Valentine. You can be your own Valentine. Spend that time to pamper yourself. Don't worry about trying to pamper your man, or if your man's not pampering you,
right?
Forget him. And if you're single, live it up with your lady friends. Who cares?
Put you first, girlfriends.
Yes.
Honestly, that's such a good message, though, because there's nothing worse than feeling bad for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what people would do if they didn't have a Valentine.
Yeah, at first, honestly, Valentine's Day, especially when I was in high school, I used to always hype it up as, oh my God, I need a Valentine, because all your friends had one. And then you get like that sucky, cheap gift from the dollar store, and you're like, damn,
store.
Yeah, and you're just like, I should have just been by myself. I should have just bought myself a big teddy bear instead. I got it from some like imaginary guy.
Exactly. It's because everyone just wants to post it.
Yeah.
That's all what today's world is about, posting. So people feel good about themselves, but you know.
Yeah, and plus, don't even believe what's posted on social media, because sometimes girls will post the hugest teddy bear from their boyfriend, and then next week they'll be over, or like
he won't even text her, or he'll text her and send her the bear, and then that's it.
Exactly. He'll be like with his side chick actually on Valentine's Day and see you the next day after. So
that would be worst case scenario, but it's sad because that stuff happens.
Yes.
It reminds me of one of our Bravo characters, Jax.
Yes.
What is Jax doing for Brittany today, you think?
I don't know. Probably giving her like a big teddy bear and
something
maybe
fake.
Yeah, and hanging out with some other women too. That's what he's doing right now.
Sending her a text from another girl's door.
Exactly, like happy Valentine's Day, babe. You know I'm not with Brittany no more. Forget her.
Watch him send it to the wrong girl.
Right, send it to Brittany, and then she'll be like, "What is this, Jax?"
And then eventually she would have to not marry him.
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping happens. I'm hoping she comes to her senses, but we'll see.
I know. Valentine's Day is fun, but it can be fun for everyone. It doesn't have to be fun for just the relationship people.
Exactly. It's fun for singles. I feel like a lot of restaurants, too, are implementing fun things for singles. They have, like, little get-togethers. You can get drinks with your friends. Yeah. Or you can even mingle with people on Valentine's Day. So if you're not with anybody, there's so many gatherings, like speed dating. I don't know if that's anybody's, judge. But if that's something that you want to do, definitely go out and meet some people. You don't have to feel like you're all alone on Valentine's Day.
Because it's like a made-up holiday almost.
It is, yeah.
And it's not made to make people feel bad, but like it just happens. And it's sad, but
exactly. And for all you cheapskates out there, always get the flowers after Valentine's Day because they're not increased. Okay, the prices are very cheap.
And then they're cheap. And the chocolate.
Yeah, the chocolate
it's very cheap.
Hit the dollar store up.
Especially after like Easter and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, Halloween's clearly. Yeah. But this is actually a really embarrassing story. Me and my roommates, this is a typical college thing. A day after Halloween, CVS like just throws out their candy. Like they just throw it away. I'm like unopened candy they just throw away.
Really?
So my hooligan roommates jumped in the dumpster and retrieved the candy.
Oh my God.
At CVS, like right. So that's great. And the candy was unopened and it was like good candy. Like it's like chocolate.
Yeah.
That will literally last you until 2045.
That's ridiculous.
So,
why would they throw that out?
I don't know. That's like makeup companies. Have you ever seen that? And I would go dumpster diving for makeup any day, honestly.
I don't know. I'm sketchy. I'm scared when it comes to my candy. I don't want to dump it in. I don't want to go dumpster diving for my candy, but if it's sealed, I will go in there for some Starburst. I will.
Oh, Starburst. I'm more of a chocolate girl.
Really? I'm like a chewy, fruity.
I gotcha. So back to our Bravo shows. I want to catch you up, Nichelle, on Below Deck.
Okay.
So they just had their reunion show. They ended their season with an insanely mean, disrespectful like lady who was on the boat.
Really?
So as people who don't know, that Below Deck is a show where very rich and famous people charter boats. And so they charter this boat for like 4 days, and it's a show about the crew. And there's a captain, and then there's like all these people that work, and they all work in little groups. So they were catering to this very impolite lady. And what I think is, so there's a guy named Ross on the show. And he's such a good guy. Like, he has a kid and a wife, and he's very nice. And one of the other people on the show, Ashton, I don't know if you saw the commercials for this on Bravo. He was caught up in some rope and was pulled into the water. What? So they had a man overboard. So, oh, my girl from Starbucks just waved. Hi, Jen. So Ashton was pulled into the water. So then the first person to see him was Riley. So then Riley goes on her walkie-talkie, is like, man overboard. But like, okay, that's what you do, but like no one was doing anything to like help. Wow. So one of the crew members had to release the line. And then Ross, the really nice guy, like was one that like cut the line and saved Ashton from like literally falling in and like dying. Like, Ashton thought he was gonna die.
Wow.
And it's really sad because Bravo was nervous to post the show.
Yeah.
And because he literally almost lost his life, and he was having like panicking, and it was really like almost very bad.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, Ross, very nice guy. I see on Instagram the other day, Ross and the lady who is disrespectful are together. And no. Ross was in a relationship with this kid. Like, he had a kid and then had a relationship with the mom. But now they're like, that's sad.
So, I have a question. So you said he died. Is it because he couldn't swim when he got in the water?
Well, so there was a loose line in the water.
Yeah.
So then he got caught up in the extra line.
Oh.
So then it was I think they were pulling the charter, the fender boat.
Yeah.
So there's like a fender boat. I don't know who that guy is. And there's a fender boat like
getting waves out here.
I know. There's a fender boat like on the back of it. So it was like dragging like a really tight line. So he got stuck in the line. Wow. So he would have like by his foot. So he would have just like drowned. Cause like it's a huge yacht.
Yeah.
And the fender was pulling away. So it was really sad.
Honestly, like I have watched maybe just a few episodes of Below Deck. And honestly, most of the people that actually charter those boats are so picky.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for the chef. Sometimes they're like, I want asparagus soup, but I want it chopped up super fine and don't put any garlic. I don't like garlic. I don't like onion. And that's most of the things that you need to, like, that's like saying you want a hot dog without any condiments on it. It's kind of like or a hot dog without meat. That's not a hot dog. So I'm just like, I feel bad for the people that actually work on those charter boats, because like, how do they even manage with such picky, spoiled guests?
I know. And it's so expensive. So those guests like can be picky. So I think the hardest job on the boat would be being the chef.
Yeah.
Because there was actually, funny you said, there was a guy who said absolutely no onions. No onions. This was last season. No onions, whatever you do. Take all the onions off the boat.
I think I did see that.
But
one.
Onions are in everything.
Yeah.
Like, even the like white onion that doesn't really taste like anything. Like, it's in everything. So this guy was, I'm waving again. This guy was like very picky about his onions, and one of the chefs got like so mad. He's like, you're not letting me like cook what I want to do. So he like blatantly put onions in his.
Yeah, I think I did see that.
And he got so mad.
I know.
But this season, this past season they had some pretty crazy people, like the very picky girl who's now with Ross. She wanted like a certain kind of wine and a certain kind of food, and like it's really hard to meet those like requirements when you're in the middle of the ocean.
Exactly.
Like, they make it happen though. Like, they get people to send them stuff, or they get off the boat and they walk on the islands and stuff. But if you're not like familiar with Tahiti or like Greece or anything, like, you don't even know where to go. Like, you have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever. I don't know. Right now, I have a cruise booked, actually.
Really?
So I'm excited to see how I go with all like this seasickness. I'm hoping, but I don't think I could ever work on a boat. I feel like I'd get so seasick.
Really?
Yeah, I just feel like the rockiness of the boat would make me just.
Yeah, I don't know about like working on a boat would be hard.
Yeah.
But I've been on like cruises before, and they're amazing.
Really?
Oh my gosh, it's like a floating town.
Yeah.
Like you just go and you get to eat whatever. Like, oh my gosh, you're gonna eat so much.
Really?
Literally, people eat, but like then you're walking a lot. So like, like we always took the stairs, like so we could eat whatever we want, but then we took the stairs, so that was nice. But the food is so good and it's so fun. But it's much different than a chartered yacht because the chartered yacht's like smaller, and you're like sharing quarters with people.
That's what I was saying. It's extra cramped, I feel, if you're on a smaller boat. But I do know that some of the people that work on mega ships, they also are cramped. That sometimes there's like 8 people in like one room.
Especially the workers.
Yeah.
It's very small. Like when we were on a cruise, you get really close with your waiters and waitresses, like for the formal nights. So we were really close with one of our waitresses named Sherlyn, and she had been on the boat for at least, I think it was like 4 years, and because it was a relatively new boat. And she's like, I have one of the biggest cabins, and I guarantee you it's 1/8 of your cabin.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't even know, like that's worse than freshman dorming. Like,
yeah,
I don't even think that I could do that.
I don't think so either.
You not only have to like live, you have to like work, like sleep, recover, and then go back and work off of like no sleep and like no food.
I also wonder, how do the doctors do it? Like, how do the doctors on the boats do it?
I think they treat them a little better. Like, I think.
You think so?
Because I know they're not on the boat for as long. Like they're only put on the boat for a specific amount of time. I think it's because they want like their brains to be fresh, you know, if you know what I mean, for like some clarity. But like the performers on boats, have you guys signed up for anything?
Well, right now we definitely booked reservations at like the specialty dining places. But as far as like entertainment, I know I definitely want to hit the comedy shows and like the little featured Broadway shows they have on board. But we'll see. Yeah,
you have to do the shows. My mom like always has us sign up for the shows. Like we saw Hairspray like 4 times.
Really?
And it was really good.
Yeah.
But sometimes the actors and actresses and like the performers like work on the boat. Like they'll do the zip line, or they'll do like, or they're like lifeguard or whatever. So I also thought that was cool. And I think they're treated like just like a waiter or waitress. So they have like small quarters, which is crazy because they have to like perform in front of people. So yeah.
Well, going back to Bravo, we were talking about doctors. I have been watching this Bravo show called Married to Medicine. And for those of you who don't know what Married to Medicine is about, it's really just about doctors, whether they're actually the doctor or they're married to someone who is in the doctoring field. And they really just discuss marriage situations and how to deal with being married to a doctor. And it's honestly very strenuous being married to a doctor. A lot of them talk about how they have financial issues, even though you would think a doctor would have a lot of money. Although they have a lot of money, they also want to spend their money sometimes. So they also have to declare bankruptcy, which we hear from a lot of the ladies on the show. They discuss that. And I also feel like, I honestly wonder if being on reality television and displaying the lives of these doctors, does it expose them in a sense? Because a lot of the time I look at the shows and you see the women arguing with each other, and you view a doctor to be such a professional at all times, and to see these women go crazy over the drop of the hat, you really wonder, like, are you really a doctor I want to see? So I wonder if that hurts their practices. What do you think? Yeah.
So my sister's actually in med school right now, which is really cool because I can see the other side of like how they kind of train doctors. And one of the cool things they added to the application process is like a personality thing. So I think that the doctors on the show now who kind of went through the old curriculum, like the emotional intelligence levels like aren't as strong or high, like because way back when they were just focused on getting answers. So I feel like people who kind of just wanted to, like the smartest person may not be the best person to be a doctor.
Exactly.
So like you were saying before, with like the money issues, like people, you have to take out like huge loans for med school. Like it's insane. But you, like, if you are successful, you'll be able to pay them off. But I'm sure people struggle with that because who would want to start their career like with loans?
Of course.
And that's crazy to me. But doctors who like really want to be there, I think they're just like, this is my life. Like I'll pay it off when I do. But they just want to help people. So yeah, I guess that's what I think. I think like they kind of get themselves in hot water a little bit, like with especially with their money.
Yeah, I also feel pretty bad for doctors, especially those who have families and kids at home. They never really have time for their kids. They're so busy getting into their patients' lives that they don't really have time for their own personal needs or for their family needs. For instance, one of the doctors, Jackie, her husband felt neglected because she was always, charting and doing stuff for guests. And she would never come home some nights. She was always working overnights. And then there was a scandal that he had cheated on her. And he was at a bar with another woman. They had the photos and everything. And she felt betrayed. So they were going to get a divorce, but she decided to stay and work on it. And part of me feels... I do see both sides of it. I do feel bad for him because she wasn't there for him in that emotional need where he needed her. But then I also feel as though this is her career. She's bringing home the money. Right. I haven't even heard about him even working. So if she's bringing home the money, then you need to keep it in your pants and keep it at home.
Well, that changes things if he's not the one working.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like mooching, like that's pretty different.
Much. They never talk about him doing anything. Maybe a little bit of coaching, but how much? I'm pretty sure that's not bringing in as much. It's not for the MBA.
As a doctor.
Yeah, it's like for probably some school or some little boys and girls camp or
YMCA.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely do see both sides because he feels neglected, but you shouldn't act out in that way. Exactly. Like you should probably go to the source of it and like figure out how to work. You knew she was going to be a doctor. You married her.
Exactly.
Like isn't a surprise.
He was chasing those checks before, but then once it started affecting him, it was on his nerves.
Chasing those checks. That's so funny.
Yeah. So that's it for today.
Thank you for joining us for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
We hope you guys all enjoy your day today, whether it's with Bae or with your friends.
Yes.
This is Juicy Jess
and DJ Nick.
Thanks for tuning in.